Hey guys, what's going on? This is Monkey Business. I'm back with another video. So now in this video, I'm going to be talking about the sub roles and the main stats for each sub role that we have, just to give you guys a clear vision on what to build. I know a couple of you already been asking for this, but I'm just now getting around to it. I have another video queued up, so I'm trying to just work these out. Thank you. Let's go ahead and go to the first session. Alright guys, welcome back to the first section. So in this one, we're going to be talking about the heroes and their main artifacts that they need. Now, first one is going to be melee. What's melee? Melee is going to be the ones that go in front of your face and fight you head on. They don't fight from a range. They ain't got no skills for range most of the time. And most of their skills are to come to you 100% of the time. Let's start with, I think I got warrior down here. Yeah, let's start with the warrior. Now with warriors, they excel in a balance with strong attack. Basically, it won't go too high, but they do have a high attack percent. That's why their pierce is very low. So basically, if you get them up, there'll be exceptional people on the battlefield. They can definitely kill some enemies, hold some off, especially with Slaughterhawk. He's real good. Most of their skills is going to be up front, doing some damage, doing a little bit of debuffs, and trying to get the enemies out of your face. And person with Vantos, she is good for that role, and she's a multi-hit champion. So with that, she should be doing more damage for you. And you really want to build them with nothing but high attack sets and with cruel set. Now, some of them will say a defense set would be good, and some will say other sets. I think they're pre-programmed, say attack and defense. But warriors will only excel in attack sets. If you need to have them be tanky or revive or whatever, then you got a healer for that. So you don't need to build them to be tanky. They go in, get a killer 2, and then they die. Then you revive them, you know. But if you want to build your warrior, please go high attack or cruel. Alright, and for the next one, we'll go with hunter. Now, one thing about hunters, they have a big amount of pierce percentage, but they have a very low attack percentage. Now, a good thing about that is if you go up to an enemy, they will most likely have a multi-attack skill. So building them with a lot of C damage or just with the range set entirely down here, you can make them fight exceptionally. Now, unlike the warriors, they don't excel with high attack damage because they have, once again, high pierce, which means they have a low attack damage with their skills. So getting a range set to get that free C damage for extra damage will be the best for them. So build them with all range set if you can. With Katana, you can really build her with the either regen set or a lifesteal set to have her heal herself. Same thing with Grim, he got AoE skills. Same thing with Shadowlands, he has those skills that's in range or that hits multiple people. So build them with a high amount of C damage with the range set, or with cruel and range set put together for a good efficiency at using them. This will say penetrator, but you don't gotta really follow this. I don't recommend it. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the Slayers. Now, one thing about the Slayers, they excel in extremely high attack damage, but they will fall behind in defenses and health. But once again, they're warriors. You expect them to go in, get a few kills, and die. You must have a great range team, tank team, and a healer to make sure that they can bring them back alive, get them healed, and put them back into the fight. Without that, warriors really just can't excel. But with Slayers, I think I got them all over 10k at one point. I know right now he got 9.9k. If I really want to nitpick this, I really could make it 10k. I had him at 10k at one point. And Sun Fairy at one point. I definitely had him at 10k. I enjoyed that. So Slayers can definitely go high attack, and they have the good skill to back them up. You want to build them with the cruel set and the attack set. I prefer cruel so you can get that 5% non-defense penetration. Now what's the last? I think the last one is Thief, right? Yep, Thief. Now I don't have that much experience with thieves. No one used Javi. I won't. And people use him in arena with no gear on, just for his passive. So I can't really recommend the thieves. But if I had to build them, I would probably go attack and HP. That's my best recommendation. I can't really give the best with this. They didn't really diverse out with thieves. I really hope they do. But alright, and I think that was it for the 4. So we should be good to go on the melee. I'm going to go ahead and head to the next section. This one will be on tanks. Thank you. Alright guys, welcome back. This is section 2 of the video. Now we're going to be talking about the tanks. What are tanks? Tanks are the people you put in the front so they can take all the hits. They are meat shields. They are the walls between you and surviving, because if they die, your whole team's gonna die. If they can beat your tanks, they can one tap the rest of your team. That's all I'm gonna really say. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take you through the different versions of the tanks. First, you have the Crusaders. These are probably one of my favorite tanks. They excel in both defense and attacks, and they are able to challenge the enemy. What do that mean? So they have a great defense ratio, which is a base, which is for them is 1.8. I know with other classes it's different, but for Crusaders, you can build them with high attack and with some medium defense. Now, I don't have a Crusader built that way specifically right now. I only got my Carnivore built up for lifesteal regions so you can stay alive, but you normally want to get them like 7, 6, 7k attack with about 3 or 4k defense so they can stay alive. Now you may think that's broken, but with a 1% pierce ratio, they're not going to do that much damage against people with high defense. It's just there for a showboat at this point. Now the best artifacts for them, it can really be a vars between block rate, HP, attack, cruel, even C damage. You can really have fun with these. She is a special build, just I want her to stay alive. Now, second one, which I like as well, is Enforcers. Now, one thing about Enforcers, they are very high defense heroes. I don't like the description, that delay and confuse their enemies. I don't like that description. They're just high defense heroes that can confuse their enemies. What I mean by that? Well, Bloodsaber is probably the worst one, but he can revive people and he can leash them and reduce heal them, especially paralyzed. Their whole point of having Enforcers is so that the other team cannot get to your main team in time. A Crusader is there to go up front, still attack, but not stay alive all the way. But this is an Enforcer. They are there in the front line defending you and the rest of your team. That's why with my 2-3 Enforcers built, they got high defense and high HP. This is Timber. He is still in high defense and high HP. Now, one thing about Enforcers, they can still have a mediocre amount of attack, but it won't really do much damage due to the low pierce amount. So they'll probably do about 400 or 500 damage. Unless somebody got a whole lot of block damage, then you're out of luck. But Ozeroth and Timbermaw are my great Enforcers. You want to build them up to be very tanky. You can be between a HP set, defensive set, a divine shield set that give you shield, or it can be just a regular defense set, and that's how you build them. You want them to be built with a good amount of HP and a good amount of defense so they can stay alive. Let's go to Protector, which is my favorite one. It's the last one of the tank genre. Now, I don't got many Protectors. I just undid him like a couple hours ago. Wow. This is my only geared one. So this is my favorite Protector that I have built. I got 2 for good reason. Now, the reason he's my favorite because Protectors excel in defense. Since Enforcers excel in HP more than defense, or mediocre between both, Protectors are very good at defense. I got his defense up to 7.7k on the other one before, but I rebuilt him up to have a stable amount of HP, defense, and block damage. But he excels in defense at the end of the day. And their pierce damage is only 10%, so you're not going to rely on it for pierce at all or attack. They're just there to soak up damage from the enemy and just to keep them from your team. They're the bread and butter, especially him for my team, especially for Mystery Island. I keep him healed up a lot. So always go for defensive items and HP items. HP items will not bring that health all the way up because they don't have that high health percentage, but they do have that high defense percentage. So go for defense sets, HP set, divine shield. You can even go for region if you wanted to, if you got high enough defense and HP already. But okay, everybody, that's it for the tank section. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the next one. Thank you. Alright guys, so now on the third section of the video, we're going to be talking about the support class. Now the support class is mainly built of people who are ranged from healers, debuffers, buffers, revivers, give another turn, another action, some minor AoE, stuff along those lines. Now just to start, let's talk about the summoners. Now the summoners are the only class that can summon a support of minor characters just to fight along with you, and they only get stacks from Pillars of Power and from your summoner sets. It's the only way to get them stacks and get them to actually be decent. Now you can build summoners multiple ways. With a swift set, you'll be able to summon them a lot faster over time, which is very good for Phantom. I highly recommend it. It may not matter with Slime Master only because he can summon every round anyway, and he only got like one really spell that he uses. But summoners can really go from support to straight up attacking minions, like the Gingerbread Snapper, where you can summon his. They're real good. You want to keep them alive, so you want to go defensive, HP, main stats the best way you can. Or, of course, you can go Swift with the summoner set to summon them faster, but they will be a little weaker. Or you can use some max HP items, like with Cap the Chloris, he's a healer as well. And he can clean buffs one by one. So that's good. For the next one, we're gonna be talking about wizards, or is it? All right. Now, one thing about wizards, that their main job is to give you those very good buffs and debuffs. Now, I'm gonna bring up some more of those in the other two the sub roles, but you'll see the difference. Their main role is to debuff and buff your entire team, just so you can have more of a winning edge. So you need at least one of them in your team, especially if it's a epic or a rare or a legendary. You should have a good amount of choices to choose from, but they're basically used to help you in battle. I know Melina, she's good at mute and not slowing down the enemy, so you can prepare your team just to one hit them if you can. The main stuff you want to go for them, you can do a mix between attack stats and HP, or we're gonna do a full HP and defense if you want them to just buff and debuff stuff attack. They do got a minor amount of pierce, and they are wizards, so they got some good attack, but you're not really using them for that. So get them tanky and let them hang in the back while your tank and your melee are doing their job. The next one we're going to do, should we do healers? Yeah, no, leaders. Now, one thing about leaders, they will also give you buffs and do some debuffs to the other team, but their main job is to give you either an extra turn, an extra action on that turn, or to provide you with extreme cooldowns. Time Defiler does all three of those. So do Doctor, he do all three of those, and so do the Navigator. Well, the Navigator don't give another turn, do he? He don't, but he do give increased range, sprint, haste. He's a good buffer. I feel like Navigator, the only reason he's not a sorcerer is what a wizard is because he just don't have that wizard feel, but he is a leader and he does a good job with it. You want to mainly give them full HP sets, or defense sets, or even swift set if you want them to get their skill back in time, like Chrono Reset for cooldowns, this one for shout out defense or increase attack, even this one to get this one back real fast every round if you want to really use it. So that's very good if you want to cheese a game through. Now for the last one will be for the healers. Now the healers' main job speak for themselves, just like the summoners. Their job is to stay alive and keep your team healed and keeping a distance away from the enemy. They can range from range healers, regen, as in getting healed every round, or anything along those lines. But honestly, heal allies, and some are capable of reviving. Panacea can revive, Marlowe can revive. Dark Faith is an amazing healer. He's tanky, but he cannot revive. He can revive, he can't revive. She can give extremely good buffs. He can revive, but not as good as the other classes, as in he's just a little bit inferior. He can't revive, but he's extremely good at being a healer, especially with his attacks, and he's a melee healer. That's what makes him exceptional. So this will probably be the most diverse group of individuals or heroes just due to their nature. So they're the ones you just sit in the back, put them on all max HP sets only. As you can see, you can do some with defense. I only do that if I need them to stay alive in a dungeon or something for a good round or two. But I've just been testing with the swift sets to get defense up infinitely. But I've been testing around with that. It's not really perfect. But yeah, I just want to keep them alive, max out the HP, because the more HP they have, the more they heal. So they'll do you a favor. Put some maxed out tier gear and you'll be winning. So alright, we'll be going to the last section to be talking about I think it's range. Yep, we'll be talking about range next. I've seen the next one. Alright guys, welcome back to the last section, and this one's going to be the ranged ones. And this one really did take me a small bit to get used to when it first happened, but I think I got everything down packed in my head already. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off. What's a ranged character? A ranged character is somebody who attacks from a range and that's meant to not be up close, which is the opposite of a melee champion. And they have a really mix of, just like healers, they have a mix of people who can do different things. So to start off, let's start off with a marksman. I'm going to go ahead and go with Achila. Now, what's a marksman? A marksman is somebody who excels and deals significant damage from a distance. I will tell you the difference between every ranged person, so just so you know. So marksmen, they're not perfect, but they do the best. How can I say it? They do the best damage at great distance only. Once you get close to them, you're screwed, and they don't have no melee range attack all in one. So that's a good selection. And on top of that, Achila's a great farmer. You want to build them for a cruel and attack sets to maximize their attack, just so that they can do a whole lot of damage with everything that they do. That's 11k, 14k. Yeah, that's real good. For the next one, we're going to talk about sharpshooters. Now, sharpshooters is basically a marksman. The only difference is that they are perfect marksmen, in my opinion. Perfect as in they got 100% pierce, but on the downside of that, they have a less attack ratio, which is very low. So you have to build them differently from a marksman. On top of that, for some reason, most of them don't go that far. But some I should do. She's probably the best marksman we have in this game so far, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So basically, you want to build them with a lot of C damage with the range set, only because the range set gives 10% attack and 35% C damage, and since they have a low attack ratio, you don't really care about that. You only need a little bit, but with C damage, you can really compensate for the lack of damage for being a sharpshooter. You just gotta make sure that you build them correctly. You can build them with a range of range sets and crit damage set, but most people use the range sets to still get that 10% attack, so they can still do some good damage. And since I do got 100% pierce, they can definitely go through armor at any time. They just can't go through your block damage. So let's go ahead and move to the sorcerers. Now, it was very confusing to get a difference between wizards and these sorts, but I figured out one thing. Sorcerers just do a high amount of damage, and they got no buffs or debuffs, basically, as their primary. Now, one thing about them, they have a base pierce of 40%. Now, they don't have an extremely high damage ratio, but I realized that with marksmen, I can get their damage up to 10k, 9.8, 9.9. With sharpshooters, probably between 5 and 6, 6.5 and 7k, give or take, maybe a little bit less. But once again, low attack ratio. But one thing about sorcerers is that they have, I get them between 7 and 8.8, 8.5k. I can never go in between, and most of their attacks are high attack ratio, which is fantastic in my opinion. Not the highest, but it's still high. Now, some of my favorites will span from Darkstorm, will span from Vidaris, span from Bite Bloom, Moongrin, and you're seeing a combination of artifacts. You want either Cruel or Attack set. You want to go for Cruel for the lack of damage from the marksman. So with that 15%, if you get 3 Cruel sets, that 50% defense penetration will definitely solve that attack issue. Don't really got one, but they are very good at attacking from distance and hitting multiple foes at once. AKA, they have a lot of AoE skills. You got an AoE, battlefield. All of them can attack in a big all-in range or a battlefield type attack. Alright, now let's go ahead and go with Duelist, which is I ain't gonna say my favorite one, but I will say, as you can see, I'm using all my Duelists. Duelist excels. They are the most weird but very strong subclass. They excel in melee and ranged, and you will probably get their attacks. As you can see, a trend between 7k all the way to 9k. But if you really want my opinion, they excel in C damage and in high attack. But as you can see, I really got them in between the midst, because once they're in melee range, they can still do good damage. So you really want them to do the highest they can. But they have great Wait, which one is this one? It's my HP one. But yeah, you see how their artifacts are different. You can build your main attack with cruel set, seed damage, or attack set. I went with seed damage because the cruel set did their job. I just wanted more seed damage to crack down their defenses a little bit more. You can build something with perception set because he is very good in all range, especially with his melee range skill. It don't deal a whole lot of damage like we wanted to, but since it attacks twice, if you attack him from a distance as well, due to his battle rush, where is it? Here we go, to his axe in hand, he can attack from a distance with a range skill. So that's very good. One of the biggest famous ones is Waveborn. I got her a Mist of Cruel set, and she is my former attack rush and attack set, and she got over 4k crit damage. So you want to make them high attack, high crit damage, so they can make sure that they can do their job, and then they can very much excel in what they need to excel in. That's the video for now. If you guys liked it, thank you. I will be making more videos for them to come out, and I'll be making like better class videos for these subclasses and what they gear on, so you can see the big difference in what they do in the game. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more. Thank you, and I appreciate you. Bye bye.